Welcome to Java programming from Codebay. In this video, we'll be discussing about solutions of self-test on data types, identifiers, and keywords. Which of the following is not a keyword in Java programming language? Asset is a keyword, try is a keyword, new is also a keyword, size of is not a keyword. So the correct answer is D. Size of is not a keyword or the result word in Java programming language. What is the size of character and Boolean data types? The size of the character is 2 bytes. In C, we have 1 byte, but whereas in Java, the size of a character is 2 bytes and the size of the Boolean is 1 bit. So the correct option is D. Why Java follows 2 bytes of memory? Why the character is given with 2 bytes of memory? Because Java follows Unicode representation. And that is the reason it is given with 2 bytes of memory. Which of the following statements will raise the compilation error? Integer cannot be allocated with a string. Anything that is enclosed in a double quotes is called a string. So this statement will raise you the compilation error. Float value, all the float literals should be suffixed with F, either small f or capital F. If they are not suffixed with capital F or small f, they are considered as the double value. So double value cannot be assigned to the float data types. So this statement will raise you an error. Characters should be assigned with single character. So here we are assigning 2 characters and that too enclosed in double quotes. So this statement will raise you an compilation error. Boolean data type will accept only true or false values. They will not accept any other value other than true or false. So this statement will raise you an error. E. And the last statement, F is a Unicode representation. So characters can also be represented with Unicode values and they have to mention with in single quotes only. The last value is long. By default, every integer, every digit or every number will be treated as an integer literal only. So whatever the number that we have assigned here, this is out of the range of the integer literal. In order to consider it as a long literal, we have to specify or add the suffix with capital L. So then the literal is considered as long literal and 8 bytes of memory will be allocated. Otherwise, if the suffix L is not added, then only 4 bytes of memory will be allocated and this value cannot be stored in the 4 bytes of memory. So even this statement will raise you the error. So statement error, 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 error. These are the correct options of first 3 questions. Which of the following is the invalid assignments in Java with respect to integer data type? All the integer data types can be assigned with decimal values. They can be assigned with octal values. They can be assigned with hexadecimal values, or they can also be assigned with a character. So statement A, this is a decimal value. Any number that starts with 0 is represented an octal value. So this is valid. Any number that starts with X, 0x, that is considered as an hexadecimal value. So this is valid. So character, integer values can be assigned with the characters. So this is also valid. So the invalid statement, 0, 8. Any number that starts with 0 is represented as or treated as an octal value. In octal family, 8 and 9 are not considered as octal family. So we don't have 8 or 9 in an octal family. So if we start any number with 08 or 09 and assign it to an integer, they will raise you an error. So this statement is an invalid assignment. Which of the following are the valid assignments in Java? So Boolean accepts only true or false, and true and false should be written in the lower case only. All the characters must be in lowercase. So only this particular statement is valid. The rest all are invalid. The range of byte data type. What is the range of the values that can be assigned to the byte data type? The range of byte is -128 to 127. So this is the range of values that can be assigned to the byte data type. Is null a keyword in Java? No, Java has no keyword as null. So null is not a keyword in Java. Which of the following are the valid identifiers? All the identifiers should start with an underscore or a dollar sign or a character. They cannot start with a number. They cannot start with any other symbol. So they can only start with either an underscore, a dollar, or a character. So the first statement is starting with a number. So this is valid. We cannot start with a number. Invalid. It is starting with the character and we can have underscore at any of the character. We can start with currency sign. So this is valid. We can start with underscore. Identifiers can be started with underscore. This is valid. Case is a keyword. Keywords cannot be used as identifier names. So this is invalid. We cannot start with any other symbol other than underscore and dollar. So this is invalid. Character C is an uppercase. So this is not a keyword. So this is also valid. So finally 1, 3, 4, 5, 8. So the correct option is C. As all the identifiers are case sensitive. So here character is not considered. Here char is not considered as an keyword because C is written in uppercase. Which line, insert the line which will compile the code successfully. The data type is char. Character can be assigned with only single digit character. Here, though they are enclosed in single digit, though they are enclosed in single quotes, 2 characters are passed. So this is invalid. All the Unicode values should be represented with /u, and they should be enclosed in single quotes. So here single quotes are missing and the slash we are representing is wrong. Octal value, this is valid. And character C, here we are assigning a single character, but we are enclosing in double quotes. So even this is invalid. So the correct option is C. We can assign the characters with the octal value also. Which of the following are the valid assignments? Yes, character can be assigned with integer literals. Character can be assigned with hexadecimal values. Character can be assigned with octal values. Characters can be assigned with Unicode values. So all of these are valid options. Which of the following statements will raise the compilation error? The range of byte is -128 to 127. The maximum value that we can assign to a byte is 127, but here we are assigning 128. So this statement will raise you the compilation error. Any decimal value to be considered as a floating point literal should be suffixed with F. So here F is missing. So this 5.5 is considered as a double value. Double value cannot be stored in float data type. So this statement will raise you an error. Long, in order to consider a literal as a long literal, they have to be enclosed with L. So this statement will raise you an error. Boolean will accept only true or false. Integer 0 and 1 are considered as integer literals. Integer literals cannot be assigned to the Boolean data type. So this statement will raise you an error. So finally, the invalid statements or the statements which will raise you the compilation error is A, B, D, E. Identify the valid keywords. All the keywords will start with lowercase. So int, it is starting with uppercase. Float is starting with uppercase. So these two are not the valid keywords. Short is a valid keyword. Volatile is a valid keyword. Transient is a valid keyword. Asset is a valid keyword. So the correct option is A. Range of byte, this question we have already discussed. The answer is D, -128 to 127. The next question. Why character data type is given with 2 bytes of memory? Before the Unicode representation, or before in C or C++ programming language, C follows ASCII representation. And in ASCII representation, character is given with 1 byte of memory. The major problem with ASCII representation is it is not supporting all the human languages. So ASCII supports only few of the languages. In order to support all the languages, Java follows Unicode representation. And as 1 byte of memory is not sufficient to support all kinds of all the human languages, Java is given with 2 bytes of memory. The advantage of it is supporting all human languages, or supporting the characters that are supported by all the languages. That is the major advantage of having 2 bytes of memory or the Unicode representation. Why should we write suffixes beside float or long literals? If the decimal value is not suffixed with F, then it will be considered as a double value, and double values cannot be assigned to the floating data types because of the size. As the size of the float is 4 bytes, whereas size of double is 8 bytes. We cannot store the 8 bytes of memory or 8 bytes of value into 4 bytes of memory. Incompatible. So in order to make them compatible, we have to suffix with F, so that the decimal value is not considered as a double, it is considered as a float, and it allocates with only 4 bytes of memory. Long literals, in order to allocate 8 bytes of memory for a variable and consider the literal as a long literal, they have to be suffixed with L. Convert the below hexadecimal value to the equivalent decimal value. Hexadecimal values are 16 base numbers. In 16 base numbers, we have 1 to 9, and then followed by A, B, C, D, E, F, and then again same 11 and so on. So A is equivalent to 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Whenever you see a value or a number with capital A or small a, that number value is equivalent to 10. If it is B, then it is equivalent to 11. If it is D, it's equivalent to 13. If it's E, it's equivalent to 14. Then how do you convert to its equivalent decimal value? By multiplying the digit or the number with 16 power to the position of the number. 16 power to the position of the number. That is, the number is AE2. The position of it is 0. The position of this is 1. And the position of this is 2. If I want to convert it to an equivalent decimal number, the value of A is 10. 10 into 16 to the power of the position of the digit in the number. The position of the digit is 2. So 16 to the power of 2 plus the value, next digit, the value of A is 10 into, as it is an hexadecimal, we are multiplying with 16, and to the power of the position of the digit in the number. The position of the digit in the number is 1. So 16 into the power of 1 plus 2 into 16 to the position of the digit in the number. The position of the digit is 0. 16 to the power of 0. The sum of multiples of all this will give you the equivalent decimal number. If the number is 0xDE, so always 0x represents the hexadecimal value, so the number would be DE. E position is 0 and D position is 1. So the value of D is, the value of A is 10, B 11, C 12, the value of D is 13. So 13 into 16 to the power of 1 plus 14 into 16 to the power of 0. So 13 into 16 plus 14. This will be the equivalent value of 0xD. So this is how you can convert an hexadecimal value into its equivalent decimal value. convert the below octal number to a decimal number. So octal numbers are 8 base numbers. In order to convert any octal number, any number that starts with 0, then that is called as an octal number. So if I want to convert this particular number into its equivalent octal decimal value, so again same position of this number 0, 1, 2. So 2 into 8 to the power of 2 plus 9 into 8 to the power of 1 plus 7 into 8 to the power of 0. Sum of multiples of all these numbers will give you its equivalent decimal number. So we are multiplying the digit or the number with its base. If it's an hexadecimal, we are multiplying with 16, or it's an octal, we are multiplying with 8 with the power of the position and the digit. This is how the hexadecimal values are converted into decimal and octal values are converted into decimal values. These are the final answers for the questions. You can refer them. Thank you for watching our video. You can reach us at codebayprogramming@gmail.com. Thank you all.